Hello, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank God it's Friday. Welcome to tonight's edition of Friday Night Hangout. Tonight, I am sure some of you are wondering, where is Prof? Is she going to join? Is she not going to be here? My name is Gozie Udemezwe, and I am anchoring this program tonight. And I am curious to know, how have you been? How was your day? Your working week, Monday to Friday. Um, how has it been? Thank God it's Friday. Come in with that TGIF. Dancing if you want to dance in, clapping if you want to clap in, just come in an exciting way. Let's have these 30 minutes together. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. And so tonight, I'll be here with you, and I want it to be interactive. I don't want it to be one way. I want to be able to read your views, read your opinion, and then you also listen to me. So please, just ignore every other thing that will ordinarily distract you, so that you can pay attention. Pay attention to this session tonight. So how was your day? How did it go in your space? For me, I had a very hectic week, travel. And then today, Daniela made my day. I enrolled her in a summer camp. And surprisingly, in that summer camp, um, they're making bracelets and, necklace, all manner of stuff. And then this evening, she came to me with this and said, Mommy, you pay all my bills. You take care of everything for me. You are everything to me. I am going to make you a bracelet. And then she brought this and she repeated this speech and she gave me this beautiful. And I told her, I said, I'm going to wear it on the program for people to see it. You might not understand how exciting this is for me and how fulfilling it is. So I am curious to know about you. How was your day? How was your day? And so I want you to feel free to share. I want you to feel free to share your views, share your opinion, your experience. But tonight we are going to be talking about setting intentions and goals. Your intentions and your goals, setting them. I'm not just setting them in mere words. We are going to talk about practical steps to set them and to ensure that you don't just set them and ignore them. And so tonight, we're going to dive in straight into our conversation. And honestly, this evening, I am really saying to myself, thank God it's Friday. I'm not going to be at work tomorrow. And for me, this is a good way to wrap up my day. Now, when you think about setting your intentions are things you plan to do, what is in your mind, what you think about, what you really would want to execute, but you haven't executed. It is still in your mind. You have intent to carry them out. Now, what do you do with them? How do you ensure that they don't just stay in your heart and end up not, nobody knowing about it, nobody talking about it, nobody even coming close to knowing? How do you ensure that those things don't die in your mind? Now, every human being has a purpose. I am curious to know, what do you believe? I don't want to say what do you think, because at this stage you shouldn't be thinking. What do you believe is your purpose? What is your vision? Feel free to share ideas. Feel free to write. Remember, this is interactive. What is your vision? What is your goal? What are you on earth for? It's important that in setting your intentions, you have pen and paper. You must have pen and paper. You must have pen and paper. There's no way you can set intentions without having a journal. What I normally do, this is like my baby. I carry it around. And so when I am not writing, what I do is to type things in. So when you need to, define your intentions, set it out. First of all, what is your purpose? What is your vision? My vision might not be yours. Yours might not be mine. Now, the second part is, what are your core values? What are those things that are the values you have as a human being? There are offices you go to. When you walk in, you see it mounted, the core values. As a family, you should have such board stating your values, honesty, integrity. These are examples of values. And now I am curious, do you ever prioritize anything? Because in setting your intention, you also need to prioritize. Prioritize. This is this. This is this. This is this. Identify them so that you know them, because they are the things that will guide you towards doing that. And now, what outcomes do you desire? In executing those intentions, what are the outcomes that you wish to have? What are your desires? What do you intend to build? What do you intend to see come to pass? And probably in years to come, when your name is mentioned, what do you think people will remember you for? I am curious to know. You have a vision, you have a purpose, but they are in your mind. How do we know they are there? Now, tonight, I will ask you to get your journal, have a personal journal where you can write these things, write them down, because when you make that vision clear, written, and you see it, make it plain, and then you keep looking at it, and it's etched in your mind. It is right there in your mind. And now I am, wondering, that goal, that vision, that intention, why? There are people you ask, why are you doing this? They say, oh, because somebody else is doing it. Somebody else is doing it. Isn't them Bauji? How are you? Somebody else is doing it. What about you? There are individuals that are naturally competitive. They move into the spaces that other people are occupying, not because they have been called into those spaces, but because they think it's the in thing. And they always say to themselves, oh, if this person can do it, why can't I? And so I am asking, why? Why? And when you set out to achieve, what is your mindset like? I am curious to know. What I'm doing tonight on this platform is to give you a push. I will expect that at the end of this session, you will say to yourself, let me write some things down. Because all the while, what you've had are things in your mind. I will expect that some of us will get a journal, not a piece of paper, no, a journal, and you begin to write. You define your purpose and your vision. You talk about your core values, and you might realize that you don't even have core values. And so any wind of doctrine blows. What are your core values? Nancy, how are you? What are your priorities in life? Priority means what comes first, which means that you have to work on those ones first. If nothing comes first, it means you just wake up and do whatever you find. On certain days, you won't even have any plans. How does that work with some people? Now, it's important that you clarify. Clarity is very important. Know what you wish to achieve. You know why it's useful. So that because it will have a timeline, because it will have specifics, you will be able to track your success. And there's no fast and hard rule that says that you must succeed at a particular time. The important thing is to show up, like Prof will say. Hello, Prof. She will say to you, show up daily. I like that part of her content. Show up daily. Show up. And so when you focus on your why, it helps you. Why are you doing this? Why are you running that program? Why are you going back to school? You don't want to go back for master's degree because everybody in your house has a master's degree. Of what use is it going to be? If you just go back because everybody has it, to be honest with you, you will get that certificate and it might never be useful. Now, finally, on this part, what is your mindset? You know, there are people whose mindset is the failure mindset. Do you know that? There are people whose mindset is riddled with failure, that even before they start, they have failed because they are already talking down on themselves. And so create a mindset for success. There's a mindset for success. The mindset that gives you that power. You know, when you call yourself power woman, and I wake up in the morning and say, Gozie, you are a power woman. You know, it's supposed to energize me. It's supposed to say to me, go out there and do it. And that doesn't mean that you won't fail. Do you understand me? It doesn't mean that you will not fail. When you fail, the mindset of success says, get up, dust up, and keep moving. Because there are lessons. It's very critical. There are lessons you learn from the failure. Have I failed before? Oh, yes, I have. There are many lessons to learn from the point where you failed. And be very careful with people who brag that they have never failed. There's nothing wrong in failing. And that's why people put up a lot of fake success, so that they will prove to people that they have never failed. There are people who will be drifting towards you because of your experience when you failed. Now, it's important. Yes, Prof. It's important for us to know why. Because when we don't know why, very little thing will make you to deviate. You might find yourself traveling to Maiduguri. You are going to Maiduguri to buy 20 cartons of fish. And you know why. Why? Because you want to sell. You've opened a fish shop and you want to sell and you want to make money. And part of that money you want to invest in your family and you want to use it to support people who are vulnerable. And now, when you go to the park at Holy Ghost, you find a vehicle going to Abakaliki. You find another vehicle heading towards Cross River, another one stopping at Obolafa. And then you say to yourself, oh, we have beautiful women in the bus going to Obolafa, so I might as well go in there. That shows your why is not clear. And so it's very important that you know your why. Now, how do you set your goals? You know, I love this conversation tonight because, you know, having this conversation is like, like a reminder for me. I am also speaking to myself and it's helping me also to remember some of, when you pass through a path and you have to talk about it, it comes, in bits to say to you, oh, this, that, you've been through this. Now, how do you set your goals? How do you set your goals? Because we've talked about your intentions being specific. It shouldn't be hazy. It shouldn't be. If you've been in Professor Onyeso's sessions, coaching sessions, you will see her help you come out from the cloud and stand out and be sure. And so your vision is not blurry because you are seeing where you are headed. And when you see where you are headed, you begin to take care of the path that you will walk on to get there. Now, those intentions must be measurable. Why should it be measurable? So that you know where you are. Now, I want to talk to you about the SMART principles, the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Now, assuming you set a goal that is open-ended, you can have weekly goals. Like me, I smashed my goals for this week. The only thing it did was that it made me tired. It made me exhausted. But I looked at it. I didn't overload my week, but I achieved the ones that I targeted to achieve. Now, assuming you wake up and you don't know whether your week is going this way or that way. It's not specific. So how will you be able to measure it? And so first of all, the S says it must be specific, it must be measurable. Do you know why it has to be measurable? So that you can evaluate where you are, so that you can measure your success. So that if you plan that in 6 months you will do this and that, when you measure, you will know where you are, whether you can meet up, or whether you are halfway, or whether you haven't even started at all. Now, when you think of achievable, don't make bogus plans. You know, all those out, you come on social media, you find this person is doing this person is doing that, and your own is to take little baby steps. And you decide to start jumping, and you set up goals that even within you, with every help that you have, you might not be able to achieve it. Goals must be achievable, even if it's in bits and pieces. And please, I want to say something to you. Learn to celebrate. Reward yourself. It could be 500 naira suya. It could be snacks. It could be going to McDonald's to give yourself milkshake. Could be walking into Burger King to take milkshake. It could be anything. I'm not telling you to go and buy a house. If you can afford it, why not? But learn to celebrate you. The problem is when you you don't make achievable goals, you keep comparing yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Focus on your own goal. Now, you talk about relevancy. What is the relevance of your goal? I had talked about it earlier. How is it relevant to your entire journey, to you as a person? Think about time bound. There are people who've set goals. In my office, we have our work plan. Don't don't live life without a plan. We have our work plan. We know what we are supposed to do. We know that this period is when we fundraise for fees. We know that this is when we do this. And so when I walk in every morning, we look at what we've done the previous week. Have we met the goals? And what do we have to do? And we have our diaries constantly updated, our work plan constantly updated. What are your goals? Are they time bound? Or that by 30th of September, you must have done this. You might not hit that 30th of September, but then you are working towards it. Now, when you have large goals, could you please, I plead with you, break it down into smaller and manageable steps. Break it down and be accountable. Accountability is very important. Have you ever set a goal that was so large and you couldn't handle it? Do you want to share your experience? And then it's important to be accountable. Have a tracking system. Set up system that you are accountable to someone, somebody is accountable to you, and someone who can ask you, how have you done this? And somebody you will be answerable to. And then it's important that you review those goals. Don't just set a goal that you don't review. I did a review of my first quarter and second quarter goals, and that showed me where I needed to step up. I had a conversation with Prof, and she pointed out a few places. There must be someone who you will always talk to. Who do you talk to? Who do you talk to? And when you think about this goal setting and making your intentions obvious and specific and having these things written down, let me ask you, what are the benefits? You might be wondering, are there benefits? Yes. Do you know of any benefits? I am just curious to know. But while you are typing it out, I want to let you know that one of the benefits is direction. You have sense of direction, so that every wind will not blow you. Enhanced clarity. You have direction.
Are you ready to unlock your voice and unleash your power? Join the She Speaks Masterclass on the power of consistency. In this masterclass, you'll discover your unique voice and learn to take results-focused actions. I am Joy Onyeso, a transformational coach, and I'm excited to guide you through proven strategies and techniques to unlock your full potential. Whether you are an entrepreneur, leader, or change maker, this masterclass will empower you to achieve personal and professional growth, develop resilience and perseverance, and much more. Do not miss this opportunity to unlock your full potential. Register now for the She Speaks Masterclass. She Speaks. Discover your unique voice.
Compass International Company is the best place to be. Our flagship product now is KIC White Chips. It's a product for clothing material. KIC bricks for decorating your outside walls. You can also use the bricks for inside wall decoration. And for people that want to build their home sheets, affordable and quality tiles, Compass International Company is the best place to be.
Hello, and welcome back to Friday night hangout. Thank God it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Now, we were talking about the benefits before the advert came on. What are the benefits? You have enhanced clarity, you have sense of direction. And when you think about sense of direction, it gives you increased motivation. When you are motivated, you are focused. It's like climbing from one step to another. And then let me tell you another thing that happens. I'm speaking from experience. There's this increased self-awareness, and your purpose is so clear that even if anybody is trying to sweep you off that purpose, you don't move. And now, what about your self-confidence? What about your self-belief? You begin on a daily basis to understand who you are and build up that confidence and get better at what you do. That even when you fail, you don't allow that failure to define you. And now, sense of accomplishment is very fulfilling. And so let me share some tips with you. And please feel free to share your view. Feel free to share from your experience. Have you ever failed? Have you ever felt like that failure was the worst thing that happened to you? How did you handle the failure? Did you learn any lesson from it? Now, when you define your purpose, you encourage others who are coming behind you. What are the tips? Write down your intentions. I told you at the beginning to have your journal. It could be your phone, it could be your iPad, it could be your laptop, but have it written so that you see it. Habakkuk said, write your vision, make it plain. Now, let them be positive and empowering. Don't use words that are draining. Don't use words that would disempower you. You can even have, like me, what I do on mine, I color it. You find me in bright color. Naturally, I don't like dark colors. And so I put up colors that spark, that if I'm hoping that by November I would have done this, I would have done this in 2025, long-term goals, because you have the short-term, medium, long-term. I, put sparks to it, that when I open those spaces, I get excited. Don't stop looking for who will excite you. Excite yourself. Now, priority, I come back to them again. What are your key goals? Prioritize. This will be done when this will be done this time. And now we've talked about this before, your action plan. And make sure that your actions align with your goals. They must align. Now, let me share something with you. I have said it before. Unlock your potential by constantly working on you, constantly developing yourself. Look for spaces where trainings are going on and develop yourself. And now, when you develop yourself, at each stage, celebrate yourself. At times, for me to celebrate myself is to send somebody to Obete, Holy Ghost, to get me manpower popcorn. You know manpower popcorn? Who knows it? Oh, yes, I eat it with coconut. And that I'm drink half a can or 1 can of Coke Zero. That's my own celebration. How do you celebrate yourself? Are you waiting for the day you will build the skyscrapers? If you don't celebrate the little, how do you celebrate the huge ones? You know, remember what we talked about: success mindset, growth mindset. Monitor your growth, follow it up, and you will find out that you are growing. You mustn't grow as Ezinne is growing. No comparison and no struggles. And so, intentions and goals are not static. This is where I'm going to be wrapping up. They are not static. There's nothing that says, there's no rule that says that you can't change it. And they evolve as you evolve. Because, for instance, who I was 10 years ago is not who I am today. And my goals have changed. I have had to move from this point A to point B. Reflect, adjust. Yes, think about what you are doing, what you have done, and what you plan to do. Make adjustments. There's no fixed or fast and hard rule. Oh, it must be this way. No, 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 no. Make adjustment. Yeah, isn't there, you know, manpower popcorn, because you are one of the people who shop it for me. You know, make adjustment. And I repeat, celebrate your journey. There are people that come on Facebook to celebrate, and they say to them, is it not just a HND? Why should you be celebrating HND when people have PhD? That HND is a step in your journey. Is a step in your journey. And so feel free to celebrate it. I want to thank you tonight for being here. It's been interesting. And I want to thank Prof for having me here tonight. You know, it's exciting. I spent the day, you know, looking forward to being here. Friday night hangout, TGIF. I want to thank you for participating. I want to thank you for being interactive. I want to thank you for listening to me. And I want to believe that what you have learned today, that you will put into action, and it will be beneficial to you. Thank you so much. And thank you to the staff and the team that worked to ensure that this program is aired. God bless you, everyone. Have a good night and see you next week, Friday. Good night.